Chottu Ki Education is a foundation, provide free education for school dropouts, especially for the children who are begging in the streets and doing labor activities. When a child goes for labor activities, we need to stop them from going there and we want them to come to the school. We try to bargain with the family and we said that, okay, we'll give you 1,000 rupees for groceries. As a return, you give your child to our learning center. So I think there's a Madhavan movie where this kind of a bargain system happens. So the only way that how we take all these challenges is see it as a challenge, not like a problem. If you see it as a challenge, it will give you the curiosity to figure out what can be the best answer for resolving the challenge.
What if your first words each morning were please for coins instead of good morning teacher? For thousands of street children, that's life. Waking before dawn, clutching metal bowls, threading through traffic for spare change, where classrooms stay locked and lessons feel impossible. Welcome to Stories Within. I'm your host Hasti, and today we are joined by Yuva, co-founder of Chottu Ki Education. She refused to let begging define these kids' future and turned sidewalks into actual schools. Armed with donated notebooks and handful of committed college student volunteers, Yuva's team set up open-air classrooms in bustling market lanes. The toughest battle wasn't rain or traffic. It was convincing parents that trading a few coins for few hours of study could change everything. They invited parents to sit on trial lessons, showed how even 30 minutes of reading aloud builds confidence, and adjusted class times around children's earning schedules so families never lost income. Through neighborhood meetings, door-to-door outreach and sharing early success stories, Yuva scaled from one small session to hundreds of enrolled learners, kids who now write their names and their own destiny. In this episode, Yuva will reveal the moment she realized charity needed a classroom, how she won over skeptical parents to let their children learn, the fundraising and volunteer recruitment hacks that kept the program running. Hit subscribe because Chottu Ki Education proves that with strategy, persistence and a community willing to rethink charity, even the roughest pavement can become a place of possibility. Let's dive in. All these wonderful initiatives that you have shared, and all of these rely on financial support, right, to become a reality. So how are you funding them?
To be honest, there is no personal fund which I am providing it. It's only the time that I am giving for this entire foundation. So
I think that's great because you're giving your valuable time. I know you also have a career. You are also a professional, and then you're setting some time apart. I think that's very important.
Thank you. So for the funds, it's basically friends and friends of friends, and also a couple of organizations, IT companies, and even some pharma sectors. They are also coming forward and they are providing the support. So initially, when we were not even registered, there was still a good amount of reach for us, and companies were willing to support us. And now, since they are registered, now we are in a pretty good shape to reach out to more organizations and write the proposals and mention about our program, and we are able to get funds in order to run the program in a very smooth level. So to be honest, for the next 2 years at this point of time, we don't see the constraints of funds. So rather than focusing on fundraising and having that tension, we can focus on the program and see how we can improve the quality of the program. So that's something that I wanted to add at this point of time.
That's actually very happy. I'm actually very happy to hear that you have enough funds to run the. If anyone would like to fund or to donate for your program, so I have shared a link in the description, so you can please, if you really like what Chottu Ki Education is doing, please support them in any way that you can, even with money or even with volunteers, right? Like I'm sure you must be needing some volunteers, and because funding is just one side of the coin. On the flip side, you need manpower, right? Because this is a huge undertaking from what I understand. Like you have 4 different centers and you have a lot of kids that you're handling. So how many people are there in your organization? And if someone likes to volunteer in your organization, who should they approach, or how does it work? How does the volunteer model work, or how can they help?
Yeah, good you asked this because on an operation front, it looks like we are running like 4 different centers in parallel, and it's really yes, huge operation is the right word, I would say. But number of people on the ground to provide us the support is it is still in a very early stage, and we still need more people to join the team. But when I say more people to join the team, definitely we are looking forward for volunteers, because we are not a very established foundation where we can recruit more employees and we can manage the program. It's not like that. So, of course, the learning centers have been taken care by teachers, and they are getting the salary on a regular basis. So that is something that we don't want to compromise, and we wanted to run in the similar way. But having said that, we also want a couple of people to join the core team as active volunteers who can come forward to participate or to be proactive in bringing any kind of necessary improvements that is needed for this activities. So there are a couple of things where we wanted to even, if you look into our website, it is in a very, very early stage. But when I say that we have started in 2016, nobody will believe that it's been started back then, because we don't have much information to be uploaded in the website. Because we have everything there, but there is no one to help us to put it into the website. So there we definitely need hands-on support. And we also wanted to see how we can keep our presence very active in the social media, because at the end of the day, we could able to get volunteers through the social media platform. So that's the other place where we want some volunteers who can regularly post our activities. The more active or the more presence we show over there, I'm hoping it could be a good place where we can still get more volunteers as well. For example, if there is no LinkedIn page for Chottu Ki Education, I'm sure you wouldn't have met me, and we wouldn't have had this conversation here. Yep. So that's where I understand the importance of social media. Although there could be its ups and downs, it always depends upon how we look at it and how we take the good benefit out of it. Exactly. So that's where this generation students who are really good in using the social media platform, unlike me. So we need such kind of people to come forward to show our presence over there. So that would be all online kind of a support. But even in the ground level, if you ask me, we need definitely good amount of support where over the weekends the people can come to our learning center and they can actually engage themselves with the students. Let it be anything. For example, I personally want the students to be very good in chess. So if they can come over weekends and spend some time and play chess with them, obviously the curiosity will increase, the intelligence will increase, and the thinking power will increase. All those things gets interconnected with that one single game, isn't it? So such things, there is no requirement for you to prepare yourself and come. So just come over the weekend, spend some good amount of quality time, engage with the students, just interact with them, talk with them, understand what's happening over the weekdays and what kind of programs or what kind of learnings that you're doing. And for example, we also have computers. So I also want the students to have a good hands-on in the computer and see how they can maybe create an email ID, for example, or open an Excel and work on an Excel. So these things like this, just come over, spend some time, and just engage us wherever as possible. So something like that. And we slowly wanted to see how we can increase our presence in the locality. So identifying some colleges and going over there and conducting orientations. This is something that I am looking forward for in the volunteering support. So that can also, like I told you in the initial starting, where it can make you develop a good amount of social skills as well. So it's not only going to be benefiting for my foundation, it's also going to be a benefit for you as well. It's going to be a win-win situation for both of us. So just feel free, keep yourself open, and just come to the foundation, have a visit, and just try to fit yourself wherever we have the requirement. So that's how I wanted to put it.
Yeah, if I remember it right, that's how I started with Boomi. Like I was free on a weekend and I saw this sign saying that, hey, we have a volunteer meetup. Do you want to come join? I'm like, okay, I didn't know anybody. I didn't even sign up. I'm like, let me just walk in and see how things are. And I really liked it. And that's how we start, right? And I'm sure you must have the same story. Like, you didn't have anything in mind when you first started it. I had no clue what they were doing. I didn't even know that there was an organization called that. It's just that, okay, I'm bored this weekend. What do I do? And that actually, I think volunteering in an NGO like this, it actually changes your life for the good, right? It changes your perspective, right?
I was about to say the same. Perspective is the right word. So it completely changes our perspective. It makes us to see certain things in a very different way. Yeah. And maybe initially we will have this thought process of being very sympathetic to a person. But then, to be honest, I understood there's a huge difference when we show a sympathy versus empathy. So I feel that in a volunteering sector, we should more be empathetic, we should be sympathetic, because that makes you become emotionally connected. It's not that it's wrong, but when you have an emotional connection, the impact that we're trying to give, it will have its own influences. So it's better to be detached when you're doing these volunteering things. So these kinds of aspects we will never learn when we are in a college or when we go in. So if you come to these kinds of places, we will get to understand that in reality. So even for that, I would suggest coming as a volunteer is a good thing to consider.
Yeah, if someone wants to volunteer, what's the how should they contact you, or what's the best way for them to reach out so that they can also join?
Yeah, so right now we are quite, I would say we are a little bit active in Insta. So people can easily reach us out to our Insta page and they can just put a message over there, because we have also connected our WhatsApp number over there, and they can just reach out as easily as possible. LinkedIn is the other place where we have a page for Chottu Ki Education. So people in the professional sector, if they wanted their employees to have some kind of an engagement program with our students, then they can reach us through LinkedIn as well. I guess these are the two places that we have, because our website is still in a very construction stage, so I don't want to propagate for the website at this point of time. Yeah,
I think Instagram is the best way to reach you guys. That's what you said, if I understand it right. And I think it's more accessible to everybody these days. So I think, I hope you get a lot of volunteers to support the efforts that you're doing. So I'm very, very curious, Yuva. So the name Chottu Ki Education, what does it mean? Like, how did you come up with this name? Like, some interesting stories to it?
I mean, I really love to watch movies. I'm really a movie buff person, and I wanted to go to a theater and watch it in a dark room with unknown people. So that's how I connected with the movies. And as much as possible, if I get the energy, I so wanted to see the movies back to back. So there is no stop for me in terms of. It's not for the entertainment perspective. I think I get my crazy ideas from the movies. Probably, I don't know.
So you're so that's again another interesting fact about you, because when we watch movie, we just watch movie. That's it. We ended right there. And you watch movie and you draw inspiration and then you try it out. It's actually very nice. I'm actually amazed to see the places where you draw your inspiration. Right, like movies. That's actually nice.
I mean, to be honest, whatever things I see across, it's not like it's not like a philosophical statement, but whatever I see, I try to connect it with the program that I'm doing, and I wanted to see, okay, if that's going to happen here, then how will that be? So I try to bring a connection of anything that's happening around me towards this foundation. And like I said earlier, because when a volunteer comes, this is a platform for them to explore anything and everything, because that's exactly what I'm doing here. So I'm exploring anything and everything, and there is no one to stop me here. So somewhere it's benefiting for the students. Sometimes it doesn't benefit. As long as there's no negativity, it's okay to explore anything. So that's what it's all about. Because we don't get this kind of a freedom maybe to experience in our office, isn't it? So I get the place over here to do it, and why not? So I'm just experimenting it. At the end of the day, I am a scientist by profession, so I think I'm doing the same experiments in my foundation also, but not in a scientific way, but in a different aspect. So coming back to the question, there is this Hindi movie, I Am Kalam. I am not sure if you are right. Okay. So in that movie, the kid who works in tea shops, which is in Rajasthan, they are being called as Chottu. That's what I was able to understand from that movie. So a small child who is doing a labor activity is being addressed as Chottu. So that's the entire connection over here. So when we are trying to provide education for school dropouts, where majority of the students are either begging or either come from a child labor activity kind of a background, considering this as an education being provided to Chottu makes sense. So that is a reason to say Chottu Ki Education. So Ki is actually a Hindi word, so it's education for Chottu. It's like that. And to be honest, I didn't come up with this name. So there's this other Bhumi volunteer who was having this kind of a crazy idea, and he just said, okay, why don't we give this kind of a name? And when the moment he said it, and when he was connecting it with the movie, then I thought, okay, it completely resonates over here. And I decided to give an acknowledgement to his idea and just take it forward for this foundation. Okay, so one of the other Bhumi friend came up with this idea of the logo as well. So where you can see a child sitting in a seesaw and the happiness being balanced with books. And it also resonates CKE as well, if you noticed little deep. So that was the other suggestion came from a close friend of us, and we finalized it as well. So this is the entire connection behind the name of the foundation and also the logo. And although it's like Chottu, and then if you see the logo, it's like a boy who is sitting in the seesaw. It doesn't mean that we are only providing education for the boys. It is also for women as well, girls as well. So we are still trying to see how we can improvise the logo, where we also wanted to now put a girl also in the seesaw. We are just seeing the possibility of having it, so that it doesn't give a notion that we are only focusing on one particular gender, something like that. Yeah.
So again, you need volunteers for that. Yeah, you need
Definitely,
volunteers.
yes.
And you see, you've spoken a lot about your model and everything. I'm just trying to understand, have you seen any kids, right, after they must have had some family unfortunate situations in their family, or some family obstacles, or something like that? Did they still continue education even after that unfortunate situation, or did they drop out because of family situations? Did you have anything, or they were like, I'm gonna pursue no matter what?
So at the top of my mind, there is a student, name is Ramalakshmi. We met her like say 4 years back. She really showed good amount of interest in education. We just put her in as a first step, we put her in a private school. We got some donors and we joined her. For some reason, she was not able to continue over there, and then we decided, okay, hostel could be a good option. For me personally, somewhere I still feel that in certain learning centers, rather than continuing our learning program as a day scholar aspect, if we can identify some NGOs which are running hostel facilities along with education, and if we enroll the children there, probably in such scenarios, sustainability of education can still happen if they are staying in a hostel and studying. So I wanted to test it out for Ramalakshmi, and with her and her parents' acceptance, we have joined in the hostel. And unfortunately, recently her mother has passed away, and that made me feel that she might drop out, and it's going to be a hurdle for her to continue. Because her father is not in a good position to do some work or take care of the house, and she is the elder daughter, and there are like two more siblings. And obviously, if she drops out, she has to step in and she has to go for a work and take care of the entire family. That's how it has to be. Initially, her thoughts were like that, and maybe it because could be of the conversations that we had with her, or maybe the conversations that my teachers were constantly having with her. She decided to continue the education in spite of the sudden things that has happened in her family, and it's been almost a year now that she's still continuing in the hostel. So that's one. It's a personal inspiration for me for sure, because I don't know if such kind of things might have happened, what would have decided in my life is something that is unimaginable for me. But the things that she has decided and continued to understand the importance of education is something that made me to get a good inspiration from her. That's there. So another example for this hostel, what I wanted to say is there is this other boy, Tirupati is his name, and he's really a very brilliant student. He didn't become a dropout because of family scenarios, because of migration from village to the city, and also the lack of documentation. It became a reason for him to not able to join in the nearby school after coming to the city. So then we enrolled him in our program, and currently we have put him into a hostel. Now this hostel is quite interesting. I really wanted to tell about it because it has been run by an NGO, and they provide free holistic education. It's not only academics. They try to, for example, I have visited the hostel, and I really got very impressed. They also have a Kaushala where the cows are there, and they also give a kind of a suitable. They have a suitable program in the education where they also take care of the cow and understand how the milk production happens and how you can take the milk from the cow, so things like that. And they also have other programs where the students themselves have to do the cooking and do the cleaning activities, and even building related activities are happening over there. So anything and everything which will be considered as a requirement for your daily livelihood, all those activities have been taken care as a part of the program in that, and they provide this holistic education. So that really impressed me. So if you ask me 10 years down the line or 15 years down the line, what do you want to do for CKE? I felt that that's what I wanted to reciprocate, because when they are able to establish such kind of a facility and provide free holistic education for, let's say, 100 or 150 students, that's something that I should be able to reciprocate it in the city, so that students in the city who really have been dropped out or really deserve a good education should be able to reach out to this facility and get their needs fulfilled, something like that. So that's how I got so attracted by that model, and now there is one of our students studying there. And if that turns out pretty good, until we could establish something like that, we will be in a position right now to ensure that a couple of students keep going to this particular NGO hostel, and sustainability happens as well. So that's something that I wanted to share.
Nice. So do they go to the hostel and still come to your learning center to learn? Is that how it works? So they use this hostel to stay and then come to your learning center?
Okay, so that hostel is like pretty far away from the city. So within the hostel facility itself, they have the educational programs to be taken care. So we just need to ensure that they go and join there, and then rest of the things have been taken care by the hostel itself completely.
Okay. So they
Yeah.
have their own education model and everything in place.
Correct. So in that educational model only, it's not only academics, they also provide other life skills which is required for your daily livelihood, things like that.
Nice. It's nice to see that you're partnering with other NGOs and bringing them and then identifying the needs of your students and then enrolling them. That's actually nice to see. And yeah, I actually got part answer from you. For future of CKE, you want to build a holistic approach and you want to have one-stop shop for everything, kind of. Is that what you envision for CKE, or do you have plans for expansion, or what is it that you want to do for CKE, say in next 5 years or 10 years?
I really don't want to say as expansion because for me personally, again, it shouldn't be like we increase the targets and we increase the beneficiaries. It's all about how wherever there is a need, the CKE should be available over there to provide the need. So that's what the entire objective is all about. So for that, whatever is required, we wanted to do it. So if sustainability is going to be the biggest first point to address, then because in the initial conversations when you ask the retention of the students, I mentioned that it is between 70 to 75, and we really wanted to make it to go to 100. So one viable option for that is to establish a hostel facility along with this educational program. So that is something
a safe
that
place for them to stay and then get all their needs.
Correct. Why? Because see, our program is only running between 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. It's a typical school, like how we are doing it. And is it really bringing a good influence on the students at the end of the day? Influence in the sense, in a good way, are we able to create a longer impact? To some extent, yes, but to a major extent, no. Because in certain learning centers, at the end of the day, once they finish the school and they go back to their home, the peer influences and the things that they keep seeing in their locality, so that still becomes a predominant factor, which is fine-tuning their characters. So if we need to have a good set of environment for 24/7, then probably hostel could be a better option, is what I still feel. Based on the little bit of experiments that we have done, it makes us to reassure on that particular point, provided the hostel is really having all the necessary requirements for it, because safety is very, very important. It's not a very easy thing. 10 years down the line, if I need to start this hostel related model, probably I may have to quit my job and I have to be there full time, because depending on employees and depending upon volunteers and running that particular hostel program, to some extent I'm not sure how effectively it will run. So that's a big decision that has to be taken on a personal front as well. Or if there is a still interesting challenge, if I need to take it up and still see how I can work and parallelly look into this hostel model, then we need to still see the possibility of having more funds so that more employees can come into picture. So all those things are there. At the end of the day, we wanted to see how the retention can be increased. So we are exploring the options of hostel. What else can be done? Probably we can still run this program and continue to identify the existing NGO hostels and get the permission of the parents and complete our bridging course and then put them in these NGO hostels. So that's something that we can still do. So the students, probably they may not be under us for a longer period of time. They're going to be under another facility. But as long as that facility is still providing the same things that what we are expecting for, then it is still good enough to connect with them and send our students over there. So that's the another option that we can still explore. So we're still trying to see what's best that we can do. But at the end of the day, We really wanted to see as many students to get this benefit. Whatever is possible, we wanted to try it. So that's how I wanted to put it.
The model itself is like empowering the kids, not just trying to have more number of kids. It's just trying to get more quality out of the kids that you have. And then it's great that you want to partner with the local NGOs which are doing something that you wanted to do, and then identify these kids and put them into a place where they'll still thrive and then get whatever they need.
Yeah.
And thank you, Yuva. Thank you so much for your valuable time. I know your time is most valuable, is what I think, because you are doing so much for the community. You're doing so much for these kids, and thank you so much. And thank you for sharing your experience with it. This has been like, I got so many informations that I didn't even know existed, and then a lot of inspirations. Like, you are a very inspiring person, and thank you so much for doing that for us. And I wish you and your entire Chottu Ki Education team all the very best for your future endeavors. And thank you so much, Shiva. Thank you.
To hear these words, see, I will definitely pass on the good thoughts from you to my team as well. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you.
Today's artist spotlight is Veda Srinivas. She began drawing at the age of 4 and channels her sensitive, analytical spirit into nature-inspired art. She has found true freedom of expression through art, creating works that captures her deep inner reflections and unique perspective on the world. A talented musician on piano, flute, and cello, who also enjoys swimming and fencing, she blends introspection and imagination in her artwork. Her imaginative piece, blending a swirling Van Gogh-like sky with a vivid, thoughtful eye, captures her belief in seeing and feeling the world with both the heart and the mind. Rooted in family and fueled by empathy, Veda dreams of becoming a child psychiatrist so she can help others understand their minds, just as her art helps her see the world with both heart and thought. It's our honor to feature Veda Srinivas in this episode of Stories Within.